Hi guys, welcome back to the third part of Developing Detroit. I just put a checklist up to start with so you can see where we ended off last episode. But I'm going to start this episode buying a few new players and actually doing a bit of a rule change in the series because, as luck has it, the bronze and silver players have all skyrocketed in price because of the bronze and silver sets that are out at the moment. So a lot of the bronze players are costing about 1.5 to 2k, which is a lot more than they should and means that's going to make our coin total a lot less in the long run. So I'm going to pick up sort of the players within bronze and silver that I can find the cheapest for now. But I'm going to stick to bronze and silver and not go into gold and elites yet. Even though I might pick up some of the players because they're cheap, I'm not going to use them until I've completed bronze and silver are the rules as of now. Obviously, it depends on sort of where they are in the market at the time because certain players aren't always available since they're bronze and silver. People tend not to list them up. But yeah, we're slowly progressing here. We're picking up a fair few players, both bronze and silver. So we're getting towards having a full starting Lions team, which is pretty good considering we're just starting the third part. But I always knew this was going to be quite a quick start, series start, because these players are cheap. And they're readily available, or they were cheap. And so I suppose as time goes on, as we get a full Lions team, we'll be selling out the club, doing more solos, getting more coins, getting more games in, and going from there. But yeah, I'm just going to sort of go over the lineup here so you can see, who we have or what positions we need to add in. But on D, we pretty much have full Lions defence now, which I'm pretty pleased with. So, they're not high rated whatsoever, and the corners are definitely going to be quite hard to deal with. But it's nice to actually, I suppose, like the series says, start developing the Detroit team. But yeah, you can see we're upgrading the corners a little bit since the Lions seem to have a lot of corners lower down. I think there's four or five bronze ones and a lot of silvers as well. So we're not going to be short in that department. But yeah, going on to onto the offense here, sort of changing people around. You can see I've got a few Lions players, a few gold ones that I managed to pick up for 250. But yeah, I'm going to jump into a game now with this team and see how we actually do with it. So I'll jump into the game. So I'm going to jump into another game here. You can see 1-0 record, which we picked up in the last episode with a very high scoring game. So if you haven't watched last episode, definitely go back and watch that one because it was a great game to start off the series with. But yeah, you can see the overall we have. I don't know how we have 68 offense, defense, but only 67 overall. Doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, we're going to jump into a game and see how we're doing it. So this game, we're starting off on offense, which is not my favourite thing, especially with a team like this, because if you can unnerve them, get a few defensive stops in the lower down sort of divisions, people tend to give up, which makes winning a lot easier. But he started off there with an illegal kickoff, which, to be honest, is pretty good for us. But yeah, we're going into our offense here, wide open over the middle. He missed a tackle there, so we got a good game. Those routes seem to be working wonders for some reason, and I don't know why, because they don't usually work that well. But we got Vic for now, so we're going to run with him while we can. Picking up a few yards there, sort of putting him on edge, so he doesn't know what we're going to do. That's the main way my offense works, is mixing things up a lot so people don't expect stuff. But moving the fullback over there should have been pretty obvious for him. There was going to be a toss. He didn't adjust, and we could easily run it in. Throw a bit of taunting in there to annoy him. But yeah, it's a good start. Getting 7-0 up early in the first quarter. So, he can make a drive, and we'll definitely, unless he does a really slow, long drive, we'll have time to score again, which is what we want to do. So, yeah, we're moving into his drive here. He got a reasonable sort of kick return, 24 yards. It's pretty standard. But yeah, we got an absolutely incredible interception there from King, who has been playing well in this game and the previous game. But yeah, we slowly made our way upfield, got to the 2-yard line. He's I don't know what he's doing. He's playing a weird formation there, but the left side's totally open. And if he'd have made that tackle, that would have been fair enough. But he didn't make the tackle. He missed it. And he's quit. So, that's a big thing in the lower divisions is people, they aren't going to stick through games whatsoever. But I'm happy with that. And I'll jump into what happened after the game now. So I'm jumping into more trading here. Or more, it's not really trading, it's just buying from the auction house. But as you can see, players are sort of varying in price. So there are some cheap ones. So we're picking up the cheap ones while we can just to fill out the bronzes. Because to be honest, I think the bronzes are going to be the hardest to fill up the whole bunch. Or I don't know, actually maybe silvers might be a bit harder. But bronzes definitely going to be hard to do the whole bunch because people just tend not to bother listing them. So even just finding the players is going to be quite difficult. But going by price here, I hadn't seen a Boone before, an Anthony Boone sort of for cheap, so I'll pick him up while I can. And this is sort of where the series is going to get a bit more difficult because we're going to be using a bad quarterback. Because I don't know if I get his stats up, but his throw-in is not good. Like, as you can see, his short is 76 and the others are in the 60s. So he's not going to be throwing anywhere near as well as Vic would or as Stafford would. So I'm hopefully going to be picking up Stafford soon. Or even a silver quarterback soon, because they're definitely going to be an upgrade, because he is not the best. But yeah, we're going to jump into another game. Keep the games coming in this episode, because the first game wasn't very long. We'll try and jump into another one. And our overall's gone down for some reason, even though we're using pretty much the same players. But yeah, jumping into a game here. And this was a stressful game, because he had a very good team. I don't know if I show the lineup, but he had Tom Brady at quarterback, and he wasn't even one of his best 3 players. So he had a lot of very high-rated players, and one of them was an AJ Green at wide receiver. But that was just a bad read from me, and I didn't expect Boone to throw it literally straight to his guy. But this was sort of the main thing that happened this game. He just kept doing throws like that, and there was nothing I could do to adjust to it. I mean, I went double coverage there. He had 2 people on him, and he just sort of jumped up and grabbed it. And since we have got, not gold corners, bronze corners, who are pretty short as well, they're not going to be able to deal with anything. And that's sort of the only thing he was doing. I'm pretty sure he does it. Yeah, he does the exact same play here. I sent 2 people on him. They just couldn't keep up with him. And so there's nothing we can do about it. So this was a very frustrating game because I couldn't find a way to deal with him defensively whatsoever. But yeah, the screen there, I think that should have worked. I think the warping in this game is definitely something that they need to sort out, because things like that shouldn't happen. Like he was a lineman and he managed to catch up to my running back, who isn't slow, because every game I played with him so far, he has been burning people. So it's very frustrating to see something like that happen. But we're not going to punt. I mean, you might as well go for it. I mean, there's no reason not to be honest. I mean, just from his first drive, I could see he was going to score on nearly every drive he had with ease. Like he wasn't making good reads. He was just going to AJ Green wide each time. But yeah, this annoyed me as well. He fell over on the floor, like he got totally pancaked, and my guy just decides to run into him. But yeah, I mean there wasn't much else to show in that game unless you wanted to see the same thing over and over on his offense, which was just lobbing it up to AJ Green, him catching it, and the game ended I think 21-10. So we managed to get a decent touchdown, to be honest. It was quite a nice throw from Boone. But, I mean, all his touchdowns were the exact same, lobbing it long to AJ Green. But, yeah, we're going to try and pick up a few more players here. As you can see, there's not too many different ones to what we actually have already on the market. But there's a few sort of cheap ones here and there. So I'm going to try and pick up the cheap players. I'm not going to be spending loads on the bronze players because I'm going to need the coins for the elites and the golds. But yeah, we're coming towards the end of the episode now. I'm just picking up the final few players, giving you an overview of the team. So next episode, I think we'll probably try and buy a few more players and play a few more games. So hopefully we'll fill out the bronzes because we haven't got too many left. But if you guys have enjoyed the video, give it a like, comment down below on sort of any advice you give me, and subscribe for more. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for the next episode.